Perfect. Are we expecting any more tonight, Fiona, or
Sorry.
are you expecting anybody else to join?
Actually, I don't know how many people to join because I only promote for 1 week.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
sorry.
all
I'm so
right.
sorry.
No, it's fine. I spoke to the ladies at the group last Thursday and we
Yeah.
went through it again. And then I suggested that they might want to come if they feel like it. But I'm seeing them tomorrow anyway, so I'll go through it again with them.
Yeah. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so can I share my screen at all? I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how we can do that when I'm not the host. Let's have a look.
Oh, how to say that the ICT grant you the access
Let's have
to,
a look.
yeah,
Oh, I can. Yes, hold on.
yeah.
Right. Share screen. Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
can you all see this with job seekers on it?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the LinkedIn checklist that they send out so that people can actually have a go at doing LinkedIn themselves. So this is the one we always work to because it's got the most up-to-date information. So if anybody's got any questions, we've got a chat box function, I think. Please put them in there or just I'll pop your hand up and ask me. So I don't know how many of you have already got LinkedIn profiles. Has anybody got them already? Anybody got a LinkedIn profile? No, that's okay. Well, if you haven't, the best thing to do is start writing one. So in this country, we tend to use LinkedIn for job searches, and especially if you're a professional and you've got certain professional qualifications, they're really good. LinkedIn is really good for that because you can actually follow groups that have the same skills as you do, and then you can build your network and look at jobs in that area and make contacts. So I'm going to show you my LinkedIn. So we'll go on to another page. So this is the standard LinkedIn page. When you've created your LinkedIn, this will be your home page. You will see this every time you log on. So I just admit somebody there. Let's hold on. So that's your home page. But this, where I click on here, Kate Henderson, that's my page and my profile. So if I want to change anything or add anything, you'll see, because it's my profile, you've got a little pen for each of these. So if you want to change these at any point, it's really easy. Literally just click on one of them. It will take you to the correct page and then you can change things. So this is what your public profile. So this is what everybody sees. So I'm just going through it from the start for you, really. I mean, I know you probably don't need that, but it's really self-explanatory, just joining LinkedIn. It's what you do with it once you've joined that's important. So now the reason I show you mine is because I'm not actually looking for a job at the moment because I've got one, but I have got over 300 connections and followers. So if you want to add me as a contact when you've done your LinkedIn, you are more than welcome to add me because you can then see all my contacts and people that might be useful to you or people that you could help. So please, I always say to people, just add me as a contact, and potentially you can look through my list of contacts and see if there are people to you. So what I've done with mine here, I changed because I'm not looking for work. I just put my CDA logo here. If I was looking for work, I would probably add a picture that said open to employment or something like that. So people can see straight away that I'm looking for work. That's really easily done. Your picture there, click on edit cover image, and then you can put whatever you want in there really. So there you go. I had to kind of chop that one about to make it fit, but it's okay. So then you want to put in, obviously, I have put this in, I wouldn't normally, but it's just useful for people who are looking to work with me at the moment. And there you go, what I do at the moment. and my contact info. So if I meet anybody when I'm out and about at an event, I've been actually, honestly, I've been to 3 networking events in 3 days in a row. So I've added quite a few people, new people onto mine. So I've either looked for them, and I've done a search, literally just put their name in there, different people, and then sent them a request to say, can we connect? And usually when you do that, it gives you the option to send a little message, and you can send a message saying, hi, lovely to meet you today, because I did meet them. Let's connect on LinkedIn, or I'd really like to connect with you. We're in the same, we do the same job, or we're in the same sector. So let's connect. So it's really useful for that. I'm going to go back to the other thing in a minute, but I just wanted to show you how mine's set up. So you don't see, when you look at when you see it as somebody else sees it, you don't see this analytics bit. This is just for you. But people will see your about page. So all I've got on mine is everything that I do at the moment, which is obviously quite a lot. And that changes every time we have a new program, or if I'm trying to get people on board for something specifically. If you make a change on here, what you do is you make sure you post about it. So make a post saying, oh, I've changed my job. I'm now looking at such and such, and I'm working at such and such. So it keeps it updated. And then you can add any of your skills that you think you have. And on here, it tells you some little bits. If you've written anything, I mean, over the years, I've written a few articles for Warwickshire Means Business and things. I've added them all onto here. These are all things that I've done purely because if anybody wants to see what work I do and what I can write, then they can look at all this and see what I've done. So it's just showing off what I can do if anybody wants me to do that for them. Obviously, if you're looking for work, it's great to put something like this in to say that you've done such and such, or you belong to a club, or something some of your achievements, or what you did in Hong Kong. I mean, yeah, there's loads of things. There's always something you can put in here if you've written a little article or something, or just write it in Word and put it in. But photos always look good as well. So underneath, these are my friends and followers and people that I've spoken to. There you go. I also, last month, I do 50% on this project and 50% of my time on the business support as a business support advisor. So I made sure that everybody on my list knew about that, so that I could say, so that if they had anybody who might want to work with me, then they would see it. So I've had already 10 comments, 26 people have liked it. So to me, that's great, because they spoke to me and said, oh, congratulations. I clicked on that. So you can see there, the people that have said congratulations, they're all people I know through work. All really handy. And of course, they now know that I've got a different role. So if you start a job or you go to a different job, make sure you pop it onto your LinkedIn, because that will get it through over to quite a few people. So now this is the free LinkedIn. I never think it's worth paying for the paid one. I don't actually know anybody that pays for LinkedIn. We all use the free service. So premium, you can sign up for a month and get it free, but then they start charging you. So I wouldn't, I don't know anybody who's ever paid for it. So yeah, and that's basically my CV in a way. So this is all the jobs that I've done, what I've done there. So this is what you can fill in on your LinkedIn, so everybody can see what you've done and where your skills are, especially push your particular skills that you've used in Hong Kong, or jobs that you've done over here. I had a discussion with some of the ladies at the meeting last Thursday about what do you put if you've got a gap in your CV. Now, most people most of you guys from Hong Kong have got a gap because you've moved from Hong Kong to the UK. So you've obviously been resettling, getting your kids into school, finding a home, all that kind of thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with putting that in. Just put that you've got a skills gap, not skills gap, you've got a gap of a year or something because you're transitioning from Hong Kong to the UK. Absolutely fine to do that. So I've done a couple of things where I've run my own business for a little while. So I've popped these in here, which I don't do now. So going right back to 2016, so 10 years of my work history, because all of my jobs for the last 10 years have all been relevant compared to what I do now. If I had some jobs on there that had no relation to anything that I'm doing now, I wouldn't bother putting them in, because any work that I might be looking for will always be in the same sector as I'm working in now. So, and then my skills and things, there's all down there. Also, some friends have given me recommendations to say they've worked with me, so that's great. So if you have any, well, if you all know each other or some of you know each other, you could recommend each other and say, I've worked with this person and, you know, I've found them always been really good at what they do, that kind of thing. Or you can ask someone else you've worked with through LinkedIn if they'll write you a recommendation. I'm always happy to write anybody a recommendation. That's absolutely fine. If I've worked with you, I'm happy to do that. So if you've met me and you've worked with me, then I'm happy to do it. So I would imagine Fiona would probably be happy to do that as well, because she knows you all. It's just a recommendation to say, I've worked with this person, you know, they're really friendly and outgoing and great to work with. So, and you can join clubs and various things, different groups support you. See who's hiring. You can go on to all these. But now I'm going to go back because I just wanted to show you what mine looks like. This is fairly standard. So as I said, if you want to add me as a friend or anything like that, please do. You can either ask me stuff or you can go and have a look at my contacts and see who might be useful to you. You can always ask me as well at any point if there's anybody particular or any sector particular that you want to speak to people in, and I'll see what I can do. I can't guarantee it, but I've usually got contacts. If I haven't, then my contacts have got contacts. So I'll do my best for you. Right, so we'll go back to the PDF that we were looking at. Not that one. That's it. So slightly different if you're looking for a job. So your LinkedIn profile will look exactly like mine did just then, except you will be putting on there that you're really interested in looking for work. So I'll send this out to Fiona. I thought already had actually. So, and this is quite a good little description about the difference between LinkedIn and other social media. So you can see there, obviously, do you know, somebody told me once that they thought Instagram was like Facebook for people that can't read because they just look at pictures. And I thought that's quite a good description. But yeah, so you can see what other social media is all about. But I'm sure most of you already use it anyway, so you understand that. Again, you can look for work on Facebook. I've never seen anybody look for work on LinkedIn, I don't think. Not LinkedIn, what am I talking about? On Snapchat or anywhere like that, or Instagram. But Facebook, yes, people do put themselves out for work there. It's always worth it. There's lots of Facebook groups as well. You'll find Facebook groups, you know, jobs in Kenilworth, jobs in Leamington, jobs wherever. So that's always worth joining those if you can find them, because you know sometimes nothing much is on there, but other times you'll find some quite interesting jobs. I look at them so that if I know anybody who's looking for something in particular, you know, I've got somebody at the moment who's looking for a job in a coffee shop, and Facebook has been the easiest way of trying to find that, because if coffee shops are putting it out on Facebook that they're looking for somebody. So just try everything if that's what you're looking at. So yes, on LinkedIn, everything's more professional. I understand from talking to some the ladies that I have in my group that in Hong Kong things are far more professional than they are here. We seem to be a little bit lacking sometimes in that. But so I don't think you guys have got any problem with a professional mindset from everybody that I've met. So yeah, it's always professional, best to keep it that way, because it's just a work portal really to find work or to try and make connections. So yeah, LinkedIn, ultimately it says, yeah, 30 plus million plus employers are on LinkedIn, which doesn't surprise me. You can search employers by employer name, by their sector, all sorts of things. You just need to really go onto LinkedIn, start messing around with it, and just see what happens, what comes up. LinkedIn itself actually does little courses, and it'll do small videos and things that will show you how to do all this. So much as I'm talking to you now, and I'll send you all the stuff that I've got, I would say that you can find it on LinkedIn anyway if you forget any of it or you're not sure how to do it. So the platform itself is really, really good at helping people to engage with it more. So yeah, and it's all about professional networking. So as I say, I've been in this sector for about 8 years now, so I've got quite a good sized group of people who I know. And even today, I met 2 people that I kind of don't really know, but I know they'll be useful for me to refer people to or to share their information. So I gave them my card and said, add me on LinkedIn. So I'm waiting for that to come through this week. So it says 9 out of 10 employers use LinkedIn during the hiring process. Doesn't necessarily mean that they use it to advertise their jobs. Sometimes it means that they will use it to check up on you. So if your LinkedIn profile is nice and up to date and looking professional, that's definitely going to help you. Employers do check Facebook, they do check social media because they want to see what kind of person you are effectively. But keeping your LinkedIn profile up to date is definitely worth it. So yeah, yes, this is specifically about looking for work on LinkedIn. So you'll see there's lots of terms here that you probably know what they are: network, connections, workforce. Yeah, they're all fairly self-explanatory, I think. So start in the beginning, what I told you, build your LinkedIn profile, set up your account. That's the first thing to do. It's free, so just do, if you've got half an hour, just do it. I mean, I don't mind if you've got your your screen turned off and you're setting it up while we're talking. I have no problem with that because you need to get on it if you're not already. So there you go. Set up LinkedIn, visit linkedin.com. You can do it on a mobile app as well, and I do check mine on the mobile app, but you've got far more features if you do it online on a computer. But it's still really useful because if you get a message or something, it will come through to your phone. So first thing you need to do, get on with joining. If you've done that, it says here, this is very true, profile versus resume. So your profile is an overview more than a CV. I guess how I normally use the profile is I would say it's a long version of a cover letter, especially if you're looking for work, because it tells them a bit about who you are as a person and what your interests are. So it's like sending a letter to a friend in a way, but a bit more professional. When you send a cover letter with a CV, you don't get as much space as you get to put in your about thing on LinkedIn. So it's yeah, it can contain all sorts of things in there about what you've done, things that you haven't got the space to put in a CV that you think are important. So it's really useful. You can pop your CV in as well. If you want to put your CV in, you can upload it and then employers can see it as it is. Some people do that, some people don't, because anybody can see your CV. So you don't have to put it in there. But there are, as you saw with mine, there's an option to put your jobs and things on the LinkedIn profile without actually uploading a CV. So yes, take a great photo. Yeah, a professional looking photo. I've seen some interesting ones, pictures of a dog because it's someone's dog and things like that. But, you know, honestly, you need a professional headshot, not a paid for one, but something that you would use for work for a professional headshot. I've just recently changed mine because my old one was quite old. It was about 5 years old, and I thought, well, I don't look like that anymore, so I've had to change it. So you forget sometimes if you've got the same photo up for ages. Make sure it's nice and clear, like this lady here. Absolutely. Clear, happy, smiling, nothing distracting, no loud clothes or, you know, a professional headshot. You know what that is. So most of us have a photo like that somewhere, or just get someone to take a nice photo of you against a blank wall. You know, you can take 6 or 7 and decide on your favorite one. And then editing your profile. So I did go through that quickly about how you do that, because it all comes up with a little pencil marks on it so you can see what you do. So yeah, click them. Sorry, I'm not very good with this. Click the me set icon at the top of the page, and then you can start adding all these things so that you can see you know, what you're doing at your education. You don't have to add in degrees and various other things. It's up to you. If you want to, you can have a go adding them and then later on take them off. I don't know, whatever you think's working. If you're looking for a job and you've got professional qualifications, you know, accountancy or anything like that, yeah, obviously add them, because people want to know that you've got the professional qualifications that they're looking for. And then it explains here everything you can do to edit your profile. So yeah, ask yourself the questions, you know, does this you know, does this describe me? You know, what's happening with the people that you're talking to? If they're writing you recommendations and things, do they really know who you are, or are they just writing something that's generic for everybody? Yeah, most people are fine with it. So okay, so you've got your summary at the bottom, so you can just a couple of sentences about who you are, that kind of thing. It will show up in search results as it says there. So future goals, put something in about, you know, I'm looking to work as such and such within the next 5 years. And there we go, build your professional network. Like I said, add me if you want, because I'm more than happy for you to look at all my contacts and see if there's anybody that would be useful to you. Searching for new connections. Search the names of anybody you know in the UK or in Hong Kong or whatever. Build it up so that you've got lots of different people. A lot of jobs in this country come from people you know. They'll say to you, oh, I know where they're hiring for an accountant. I've just seen it on one of my newsletters. So, you know, you can go through them to get more connections for jobs. So it's in a lot of cases it's who you know, not what you know. So the more people you know and interact with, the better. So yeah, searching for new connections, as I said, just don't just add anybody that you don't know. Add people that you do know, or people who if somebody's in the same industry as you and you want to connect with them, there's nothing wrong with adding them, but send them a message and say, hi, I also work as or have qualifications as, it would be great to connect professionally, just like that. And they're most likely they'll reply. I've never had anybody say no when I've done that. but it's, you know, it's, I don't know, I suppose they could. And that's important there where it says expand your network strategically. This is what I said about just not adding anybody. It's, you can add everybody you know, your friends and everything, but start looking for people in industries that you want to work in. Start looking for them in locations you want to work. Start searching, you know, different, there's lots of groups. So start searching for, I don't know, what was I looking for the other day? Business support groups. So if you put that in the search bar, you'll get different ones come up, and you can pick and choose if you want to join those groups if you think they're suitable for you. So there's, you know, quite a few ways you can do it. Yeah, there you go. Told you. Result from a personal connection. So this is what I'm saying about connecting with people who you may not know them, but you can certainly connect with them and say to them, look, you know, I'd love to connect because I am also an accountant. I'm looking for work in this area. Be great if you could keep in touch with me. And if you hear of anything, please let me know. Or let's keep a professional connection. Like I said, most people are happy to do that. I've never come across anybody who said no. It's the sending of the message when you add them that makes the difference. Because if somebody tries to add me and I don't know who they are and I don't know why they want to add me and they don't send me a message, I wouldn't accept them because I don't see why. There's no point. There's nothing for me to gain and nothing for them to gain. So yeah, it's always worth sending a professional message with it. So yeah, second degree, first degree and all that. Yeah, so these are all people you know. So when you search somebody, it will come up with something like, if you're already connected with them, it will say first. If they're connected to somebody you know, but not you, it will say second. And then it goes down the line. So if it's connected to somebody who knows you, it will say third. So you know there's a potential link there. You could potentially either say, we're both a friend of so-and-so. Be great to connect because we're in the same sector. That you can always use that. Or you could ask the person who is connected to them and say, could you do an introduction because I'd like to work at the same place this person works and I'd like to meet them. 9 times out of 10, you'll get an introduction through that. It's really useful. There you go, look, first degree and second degree, and it does go up to about fourth, I think. So that's people you know, that's people who you know, who they know. So, which is, I'm sure you understand that. And then it goes even further, look, third. So if you think of it as online networking, really, LinkedIn can be used for lots of different things, but when you're looking for work, think of it as a networking meeting, an online networking, almost a meeting, yeah. Your whole point of being on there is to try and connect with the right people who can either help you with extra training or who can suggest places you could go to work, or might even know about a job that's available in the sector that you want. Or, you know, there's a myriad of different things they could help you with. And equally, in return, there are probably lots of things you could help them with. They might want links to Hong Kong. They might want to know how it's different actually working in Hong Kong compared to the UK. Don't know. So never turn any opportunity like that down. Always have a good look at it and see if it's something that you can leverage for your own use. So yeah, that will be good. Click my network and that will show you who people you may know. You might not, but it will tell you people who live in the same area or have worked at the same place or anything that you've got that's a link. And I do this regularly. Every couple of weeks, I'll have a look at this people you may know, because sometimes there'll be somebody who I did work with or who I spoke to a few months ago. And I think, oh yeah, I'll add them, I'll connect, and then I'll send them a quick email and say, oh, hi, we met a couple of months ago. Can I add you to my LinkedIn network? Is there anything I can do to help you? Equally, is there anything I can do to help you? Do you need connecting with anyone else and stuff like that? So with a lot of things, if you offer help before you ask for help, that usually gets you off on a good foot. I think some places forget that. They just go on to LinkedIn, some people, and they just start asking for this and that, but they're not offering to help anybody. And I think that makes a big difference. If you speak to people on there in a private message and you offer to help them or help them connect with people or anything like that, you're far more likely to have a good relationship with them, working relationship, than going on and just asking. So there you go. You can have a look at, that's what I was saying about the search bar. You can start having a look at names, company you want to work for. If there's anywhere specific you want to work for, put that company in and start looking at people who work there. You could find the name of the HR consultant. You could find the name of, the CEO, anything like that. And then you could add them and send them an email and say, hi, I'd love to work for this company. I've been interested in working with you for a while. Could you possibly tell me if there are any vacancies at the moment? It doesn't hurt to ask. We'll try to be polite. I'm sure you will be. But, ultimately, all they can say is no. They're not going to say anything awful or blacklist you from ever applying or anything like that. Or most of the time they'll say, we don't have any vacancies at the moment, but, keep an eye on what we're doing and we may have. Sometimes you'll get a message back saying, oh, yes, please contact our HR department because we have vacancies. Or they'll tell you where they're advertised. Yes, we've got vacancies. They're advertised on LinkedIn. So anything like that, it's always really useful. But just remember, the personal connection is better. So if you're asking for them to add you to their network, make sure you send them a message explaining why and what you're looking for. So again, it's just going through about searching for new connections, which we've just talked about. Yeah, and who should you reach out to? Again, people you've got something in common with. Yeah, everything we talked about there, look. Yeah, explain how you came across their profile. I was looking at, I don't know, Johnson & Johnson solicitors, and I realised that you work in HR there. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind joining, adding me as a connection, and maybe we can talk about any possible vacancies that might be coming up. Something like that. It's just the same as you would. LinkedIn's just the same as you would if you were sending professional emails. So the same professional courtesy you use and that you expect from them is exactly, it's a business thing. So if you just apply the same principles as you would if you were talking to somebody in business, you won't go far wrong. So connecting to opportunities, there you go, look. Yes, you can ask for informal interviews. You can say, could we possibly have a chat? Do you have, if you don't have any vacancies, do you know anybody that has? Or requesting referrals, you could say, oh, I'm really looking as if I'd really like to contact or connect with so-and-so. Could you possibly refer me because I'd like to talk to them about possible vacancies? That's better if you get an in-person referral then. Yeah, finding a mentor as well. You could speak to an accountancy company and say, I'm looking for a mentor because I've just come over from Hong Kong. I've got qualifications, but what I'd like is some experience of working in the UK. I'm a qualified accountant. I'd love to be able to come and talk to you about what the employment landscape is like in the UK. And, an awful lot of them will say, yes, of course, come over, come and see what we do. Or let's have a Teams meeting online. Or most people want to help you. It's just you have to ask. And, even, I don't know, I know for us, in England, we actually find it quite hard to ask. But sometimes it gets you so many places, as long as you're polite. And if they say, I'm sorry, we're really busy, can't do anything like that. Maybe you could just say to them, well, really appreciate that. I understand how busy you are. Is there anybody you could recommend that may be able to help me with this? You know, as again, it never hurts to ask. And there's a good chance they'll remember you, because not many other people are likely to go to them and say, can you support with this? Or can you help me or anything? You know, so yeah, LinkedIn members 9 times more likely. Yeah, don't know about that. I think some of this is American, so yeah, so message your connections. That's really important. Ask them, yeah, again, look, if you don't know the person you're messaging in real life, explain why you're reaching out. You're reaching out because you're looking for a job and you're interested in the sector they're working in or the company they work in, or the qualifications that they've got because you've got the same, that kind of thing. Yeah, this is good actually, using informal interviews. It's a really good idea if you can get somebody who you've connected with to actually refer you or do an informal interview with you, you know, just to chat. Just say to them, yeah, can we have a chat about, you know, the role that you have? Because I want to do something similar, but obviously I know things are different in the UK than they are in Hong Kong. So quite often, as it says here, look, professionals might even consider you for future job openings, because not many people ask for an informal chat, because I don't think they realise they can. It puts you in the person's mind then, and they think, oh, that person was really quite progressive. They came to me and asked me. And that goes a long way, doesn't it, with work? It goes a long way being progressive without being aggressive, as I was trying to say. And that'll never get you anywhere, being aggressive. So again, we talked about this, requesting referrals. That's really good. And recommendations. I've got a few recommendations on mine, but I haven't had many for a while because I don't ask people. I never get around to it. So current or former managers, current or former colleagues. I don't know what the situation is, whether you can ask some of your previous colleagues from Hong Kong to send you recommendations. I mean, if it's part of the path that you're following now, then, you know, that would be really good. So people who've mentored or advised you, I'm happy to do it. As I said, anybody that I've actually met and I know, I will say, you know, I've worked with this person, and yeah, exactly. It's a bit like a mini reference. Sorry, I feel like I'm just talking at you all now. Has anybody got any questions?
大家有冇啲咩問題想問下㗎？或者唔清楚，或者想佢講多啲嗰啲都得㗎。
Hi, Fiona, are you going to help me with this one?
So let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, someone is typing.
Right, hold on, let me get this back up. Right. Let's have a look at the chat.
Yeah, someone Wilson is writing something now.
Right, what have we got?
Excuse me, Kate. This is Wilson.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you, and thank you for your sharing. I'm just wondering if the LinkedIn is the only way to let the employees know the background information of a person, or in certain situations, I do have my personal academic website, for example, the Orchid or the Scoop or the Scoopus, something
Yeah.
like that. That is the academic one, which I have been working in the university, and I do have those background information. Can I
Yeah.
share those websites to the employees instead of using LinkedIn?
You can, yes, you can do that. I mean, it's yeah, ultimately, yes, you can do that. I think in this country we tend to just automatically go to LinkedIn. It tends to be, you know, like Facebook or something. It's the standard one that everybody goes to. You could always have a smaller profile on LinkedIn, and then say to put on LinkedIn that you can share what you've got from different websites. I mean, you could certainly do that.
Is that you're meaning the LinkedIn is the primary channel to communicate with the employers, and all those websites from the university or my personal website is the supplementary one?
Yes, exactly.
I see.
Exactly. Yeah, LinkedIn is the primary one in this country, definitely. LinkedIn is the primary one for showcasing your employability skills and everything. And Indeed is the primary one for looking for jobs. But it doesn't mean it's the only one. There are others. LinkedIn is just handy for putting your profile on. People will look for you. So, but if you've, like I say, if you've got others, you can also, like I say, add links so that people can go from LinkedIn to have a look at your other sites.
Oh, I see. Thank you
So
very
that would
much.
be, yeah, that would be quite good actually, because it would show what other things that you do. So always happy to help. If you've got specific questions, you can drop me an email and I'll explain a little bit more about it. Or yeah, we can sort something out and I'll show you how to do it. I'm sure it's fairly self-explanatory, but the question you asked me about, yes, LinkedIn is the primary one. So yeah, but anything else that you want to share with employers or prospective employers, if you put a link to that website or to other sites in your LinkedIn profile, they'll go straight to it from there.
Oh, I see. Thank you very much.
It's all
Thanks
right.
in advance. Yeah.
That's all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else while we're going? Anything? And I'll keep going because then I can get it over with for you quite quickly. Not that I mind, but because
It's already good enough. Thank you so much. It's already good enough.
Oh, thank you. I just feel like with these, I'm just talking at you all the time, and I don't like doing that. I'd rather, right. Let me just close this down. Okay, so the next bit then, finding a mentor, that's quite good. You can actually, from your profile page, it does tell you here, select the career advice hub located on the dashboard, and then you could potentially, it tells you to put in details about what kind of support you're looking for, and it will suggest people that may be able to offer that. Yeah, I haven't ever used this. I'm not going to lie. I'll tell you the truth. I've never used this, and I don't know anybody that has. So I can't recommend it, but I can't see why it wouldn't be useful. It's always useful to have some kind of a mentor or somebody who can help you a bit. So I would say give it a try. So I say I'm not totally, yeah, I've never tried it, so I don't want to say whether it's good or bad because I don't know. Yeah, so add value and engage with your network. So that's really important. So don't just go on LinkedIn, set up a profile and do nothing. You need to be engaging with people, engaging with groups. As I said, put things, like and share things that people in your network will care about. So if something comes up about accountancy and you see it, I'm just using that as a basic, example. Share it and add a little note to it saying, saying something like, as an accounts professional, I fully agree with this, and share it. Other people will then read it from different networks and they'll think, who's this person? I've not seen them before. And then they'll look at your profile. So again, joining groups of people who went to the same university as you, same school, have the same interests, and giving testimonials and recommendations. That's really good. If you've worked with anybody, it's great if you can give them a testimonial, because with LinkedIn, it's a two-way thing. Not only do you want connections, you're also there to support other people as well. So the more you can do to help them, the more happier they are to help you. You know, it's just reciprocal, really. I'm not the person who does the most on LinkedIn. I do enough, I think, and I make enough contacts, but I don't have the time to spend hours doing liking and sharing things and stuff like that. But if I was looking for work, I would, because it's important. Right, so yeah, searching and applying for jobs, set your career interests, things like that. This is, I mean, Fiona's got a copy of this, I think. Have you got a copy of this, Fiona, or could I not attach it because it was too big? I can't remember. Either way, I'll get it to you
Maybe.
somehow.
Maybe you send it again to me.
Yeah, I think I did, but I know in the past I've tried to send this before and it's been too big a file to send. It didn't like it. So I'll try it again.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, looking at career interests. Set up your career interest on your profile, including what you're looking for. Yes, turn on the open candidate setting to let employers know you're actively searching. That's a really good thing to do. I've seen people do all these career interest thing and then not actually set it to open. So wasted their time. So just make sure you set it to open candidates. It says, where are you in your search there? Look, not looking, but open to offers. You've got other options, actively looking, or anything like that. So make sure you actually put that bit in. Sounds daft, but it's an easy thing to forget. So again, about searching for jobs, you know, we know this. It's on here. I'm quite aware of the time. So yeah, search alerts. I've done this using job alerts. Just to see, because sometimes if I'm working with somebody who's looking for something specific, I'll set up a job alert in case anything comes through. But do it for yourself. It's the best thing you can do. You know, whether you get any hits on it or not, I don't know. Depends how narrow your search is, I guess. Yeah, and then looking at jobs you might be interested in. Make sure you've got all the things they're asking for. So, you know, if you know that your job, I'm going to say accountancy again. So if you know that as an accountant, you have to have certain skills, have to have certain qualifications, make sure that's all in your profile. As I always say to people who write a CV, a recruiter will always look at the top half of the first page. And if they're not grabbed by that, they probably won't read the rest. So it's the same with LinkedIn. You've got to make sure that the important facts of who you are, what your qualifications are, and what you're looking for is fairly immediately obvious to the person who's looking at your profile. So kind of, it's not an online CV, but it kind of is if you're looking for work. So following companies where you'd like to work, that's a great idea. Helps you with researching a company as well. If you get an interview somewhere, I always suggest to people, research the company, ask them, you know, because they might ask you something and you don't know it. It looks like you're not really that bothered who you're going to work for. Yes. Oh, that's it. I didn't know that. Look, recruiters on LinkedIn can filter specifically for candidates who've engaged with their company page. Didn't know that. That's an interesting one. So make sure if you're wanting to work for some big company, look at their LinkedIn profile. Yeah, some companies have the easy apply button. I have seen it a couple of times, but I've never used it. So yeah, that's the other thing, applying quite quickly. So this is the same everywhere. If you apply quite quickly, you look more keen, and so you're more likely to be seen favourably. So there's loads of things here. Look, explore schools, alumni, all these things that I sort of mentioned to you. Make the best of what you can get for free out of LinkedIn. You know, it can't tell you who's searched you on the free one, but they can message you. So, but if you pay for it, you can see who's searched you, but that could be anybody, couldn't it? I mean, it could be the guy who fixed your electricity because he was nosy. You know, that's no use to you. So yeah, everything I mentioned before, joining groups, doing all those things, setting your privacy as well, change the language you use, and changing your password and things like that. Mine's set to English, obviously. I would imagine yours would be set to English as well for working in the UK. So that's kind of it for this. I'm aware we've been an hour. It is quite a dry subject. Let me just take this off for a minute. I'm going to show you this one before I go. Is it that one? No, that's me. That's me. Don't want to see me again. There we go. It's quite a dry subject, but it's important. And it's something you need to sit down for a couple of hours and start working on. I promise you it's worth it. I don't really know many people, professional people, who don't have a LinkedIn profile anymore. It used to be optional, but it doesn't seem to be now. It seems to be like everybody's got one. I sent this to Fiona as a checklist. So it's actually basically a smaller version of what we just talked about. So if Fiona can send that out to you, you'll be able to see exactly how to do it all in sort of 2 or 3 pages. And as I said, if you want to add me or you want me to give you a recommendation or anything like that to put on your LinkedIn profile, please let me know. I'm always happy to do it. Any specific questions, drop me an email. If I can't find the answer, I'll find someone who can, as I always say. And that's it really. So that's a potted version of what we've just talked through. I'm going to stop sharing now. So I'm sorry it's quite boring, and I fully think that it is quite boring, because I just talk at you for the time that we're here really. But if anybody's got any questions now, be a good time to ask, because we're at the end of an hour, just about. If not, ask Fiona, or you've seen me on there, Kate Henderson. So just drop me an email. Fiona's got my email address, and I will do what I can to help give you some information or anything like that.
Yeah.
So is that okay?
Yeah. 好，大家仲有冇其他嘢都想問下阿 Kate 㗎？係啦，咁如果冇咧，就大家麻煩將你個 email 咧就寫喺個 chat box 裏邊，因為我冇大家嘅 email，今次 IT 部嘅同事冇俾我咁樣樣。咁係咯，你哋寫低你個 email 啦喺個 chat box 裏邊啦，咁我就會將阿 Kate 叫我去 forward 俾大家嘅嘢就會 forward 俾大家嘅，係啦咁樣樣，唔該晒嚇，係啦 ，OK，thank you so much。
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
thank you.
it's always, I do enjoy doing these, but it's always better in person because, you know, we can talk about it. When
Yeah.
it's online like this, obviously I understand that it's a bit boring. You just have to listen.
Not
So-
boring. It is quite useful, to be honest.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so have a go at it is what I'm saying. If you haven't got one yet, build one. If you have got one, go through all the information and see if you can upgrade it and make it better. If you want to add me as a friend or email me and say, can I have a look at your LinkedIn profile or whatever, and then I can suggest some improvements or anything like that, I'm absolutely more than happy to do that. Is that all right?
Yeah. And I would like to share your email to the participant.
I can do that now, actually.
Yeah.
Let me put it in here.
Yeah, I type. Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Daniel, I just put your
So
email.
that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, so please feel free, just drop me an email. Anything I can do that help with LinkedIn, I can, you know, help you find groups. I can help you do various things on there. So like I said, I'll do my best to help. It's just a shame that obviously at the end of July, you're going back to Warwickshire County Council. So for support. So if there's anything I can do before then, make use of me. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much.
That's all right. I've absolutely loved working with you all. I'm going to miss everybody, actually.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, but thank you anyway, and thank you for sorting this out and setting it up, Fiona. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, thank you, Kate.
All right
thank
then.
you. Yeah. 好，咁
All
今
right.
日咧，bye。今日個
Okay.
online webinar 咧就完結啦。咁啊，麻煩晒咁多位今日出現啦。咁啊，大家記住寫翻 email 喺嗰個 chat box 度，咁我就會將相關嘅 information 就會再 forward 翻俾大家嘅。Yeah，thank you so much. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. And I'll see
Bye.
you all again
Bye.
soon, hopefully.
Yeah. See you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.